You're not a baby camel. It's innocuous. It's not going to hurt you. And that makes you remember it. That's fine with me. But polyphenols are far more than antioxidants. And it's really good for the environment. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gut Instincts. I'm your host, Dr. Stephen Gundry, and today we'll be getting into the foods you've asked about that we haven't covered in previous Gut Instinct episodes. That's right, this entire episode is dedicated to you. So keep them coming. You never know, your question just might end up in a future episode. All right, I'll be ranking these foods that you asked about from S to F. S stands for superfood, and F means it belongs in the trash. Now, before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to help improve your gut health. Rutabaga. I'm a huge fan of root vegetables. Rutabagas, you've probably seen them in the store. Sometimes you have to ask for them, sometimes they're hiding, but it's something that you really ought to consider adding to your diet. You can roast them, you can put them in soups, you can boil them. However you want to add them, they're well worth considering. They're loaded with soluble fiber. That's the stuff your gut buddies like. So rutabagas, I know, it's a superfood. Anchovies. I've talked about anchovies a lot, and I'm going to talk about sardines in the same breath. So anchovies and sardines are sometimes called bait fish. Small fish in general are some of the best things to eat. They have loads of long-chain omega-3 fats. They have almost no heavy metals, and the cool thing about both of these is some of the longest lived people, well over 100 in the world, are anchovy and sardine eaters. So anytime you can get these guys into your diet, it's a winner. They are superfoods. And as I've said before, try to teach yourself to like sardines. You can even go to Trader Joe's and find boneless, skinless sardines. It's a great way to start. Try to get them in olive oil. If you don't see them in olive oil, get them in water. Don't get them in vegetable oil. Oh, let's get controversial. You see on the internet algae oil, and you see really slick advertisement about how it's fermented and that it's a monounsaturated fat. And you hear the word algae, and you think all sorts of great things like, wow, algae. Salmon eat algae, and they get omega-3 fats, and algae oil has a low smoke point. Here's the problem. Algae oil is almost all a monounsaturated fat. Where have we heard monounsaturated fat before? Well, much of olive oil is a monounsaturated fat. And for years, we've assumed that a monounsaturated fat is a healthy fat, is a good for you fat. But I've had the pleasure of speaking with the head of the Olive Oil Council in Italy and one of the nutrition professors in Italy, and he assures me that there are actually no health benefits to a monounsaturated fat. The health benefit is whether that fat carries polyphenols into you. So it's just a carrier for polyphenols. And the bad news is there are no polyphenols in algae oil. It's innocuous, it's not going to hurt you, but compared to olive oil, where it will actually benefit you, it's, no offense, not worth your money. Again, it won't hurt you, but there, how's that? Sacha Inchi Oil. So Sacha Inchi have a very distinctive flavor. They're a nut. They're a really great source of protein. They're also a pretty good balance of monounsaturated fats, some omega-6 fats. They do have some polyphenols in them. So Sacha Inchi oil is expensive. It's not going to be the powerhouse that you're really looking for, but I'm going to give it a B as well. Pistachio oil. Pistachios do have a lot of polyphenols. but the oil itself doesn't have that much of the polyphenols than eating the pistachio itself. Pistachio oil is good to cook with, it gives an excellent flavor, but so many of these nut oils, you're actually much better off eating the nut itself and getting the polyphenols that way rather than having the oil. The exception, of course, is fruit oils, and so you're getting far more polyphenols than a nut oil like a pistachio oil. Again, it's expensive, tastes good, but it doesn't really give you the bang for the money that you're paying. Speaking of bang for your money, Perilla oil. Perilla seed oil comes from the perilla plant. Most of us in the United States know it as a coleus plant. Those beautiful colored leaves that you can grow indoors in a lot of gardens. Look it up, you'll recognize it immediately. Perilla seed oil is the #1 oil of Korea and much of China. It's remarkable in that it is mostly the short-chain omega-3 fat called alpha-linolenic acid. There are so many health benefits to perilla oil and alpha-linolenic acid. I've written chapters and books about it. How so? The original study that I refer to on heart health in humans is what's called the Lyon heart diet, or some people call it the lion heart diet, done in Lyon, France. People with known heart disease were given a low-fat American Heart Association diet, or a diet that they substituted a lot of a margarine made out of an short-chain omega-3 fat, similar to perilla oil, called rapeseed. What they found on breaking down all the aspects of the diet was that the level of omega-3 fatty acid, alpha-linolenic acid, was the only factor that contributed to the difference. What's unique about perilla oil in animal studies is that it prevents LPSs, lipopolysaccharides, from getting through the wall of your gut into your circulation. It protects blood vessels from cholesterol adhesing. So I'm a huge, huge fan of perilla oil. Please buy the organic versions. It's becoming more and more available. Perilla oil, you can pour it on your vegetables. You can make salads with it. You can cook with it. It's my #1 oil. Cloves have the highest polyphenol content of any spice. If you want to call them antioxidants, and that makes you remember it, that's fine with me. But polyphenols are far more than antioxidants. So cloves are really a superfood. And please use them. You can even take powdered clove capsules like I do. Really good for you. Parsnips. Here's another root vegetable. Anytime you can get a root vegetable into your diet, do it. They're going to really improve your gut microbiome. They're loaded with resistant starches. So they're cousins of rutabagas. Try parsnips. And you can actually slice parsnips raw. They've got kind of a tangy flavor to them. And think about using them where you might shred a carrot on a salad. Bamboo flour. Now this is a new one, and it's getting some interest because bamboo flour is actually very low in carbohydrate. So many of us want to avoid traditional flours. It is one of those that you can use for making breads, crackers, that actually has a very low carbohydrate. You can use it like coconut flour, like almond flour. It's certainly better than almond flour. So many of my patients with autoimmune diseases react to almonds. Sorry about that. So bamboo flour is right up there. I'm going to give it an A. It's a good flour to work with. Oh, let's go controversial. Raw cow's milk. First of all, none of you watching are a baby cow. You're not supposed to drink another animal's milk. Cow's milk is designed to make calves grow rapidly. We're, on the other hand, designed to grow very slowly. And cow's milk is loaded with growth hormone and growth factors. That's the last thing you want to ingest and the last thing you want your baby to ingest. Finally, cow's milk has that sugar molecule called Nu-5-GC, which is present in cow milk, it's present in sheep milk, goat milk, it's present in beef, lamb, pork. Unfortunately, it causes inflammation. So raw cow's milk, any cow's milk, gets an F. On the same subject, I know we hear about how important liver is for you. Here's the bad news. When human beings ingest Nu-5-GC containing food, we make very strong antibodies to it because we view it as a foreign invader. The bad news is humans have a sugar molecule that's incredibly similar called Nu-5-AC, capital A. They differ by one molecule of oxygen. Otherwise, they're identical. The lining of our gut has Nu-5-AC. The lining of our blood-brain barrier has Nu-5-AC. The lining of our blood vessels have Nu-5-AC. And the lining of our joints have Nu-5-AC. When we eat Nu-5-GC containing foods, it can substitute for Nu-5-AC in the lining of our gut, our blood vessels, our blood-brain barrier, and our joints, and our immune system will attack it as foreign. That's why there are strong evidence that red meat eaters have more arthritis, more dementia, more heart disease than non-red meat eaters. Chicken and fish have Nu-5-AC, just like us. Which brings me to liver. Guess where the highest concentration of Nu-5-GC is in any tissue? Liver. It's one of the biggest F's that you can put into your mouth. I'm sorry, I was raised on liver and onions. It's really dangerous. Camel milk. Turns out that camels usually have Nu-5-AC, but the same thing applies. You're not a baby camel, and there's no reason you should be drinking a camel's milk. You're not supposed to grow fast, and there's nothing in us we want to grow once we're done growing. So it's not a health food either. Pistachio milk. Now, most of these nut milks are potentially a good replacement for milk. Hopefully the oat craze has died a horrible death. Oats are full of glyphosate, oats are full of lectins, and most oat milk has tons of sugar. You don't want oat milk. Almond milk is a potential okay guy, except it's mostly loaded with sugar. You can get unsweetened almond milk, but the peel of the almond has a lectin, which is pretty mischievous. Other nut milks, like pistachio milk, like hazelnut milk, are actually better choices, but you've got to look at the sugar content. So many of these companies will add sugar to it to give you that milk flavor. It's a perfectly, acceptable milk, but look at the sugar content. Speaking of sugar, dates. Now, dates are on my approved list with the exception. Dates actually have some interesting soluble fiber, but dates are mainly pure sugar. I've tracked a large number of my patients who are Muslim, who celebrate Ramadan. One of the interesting things that almost all of them do when they break their fast at night is finish their meal with a handful of dates. And invariably, despite their wonderful work at Ramadan in fasting, from sun up to sundown, their triglycerides go up, hemoglobin A1C goes up, and their insulin goes up. And invariably, it's because part of the culture is they're eating dates. So a date is okay. Dates, not okay. We'll put it there. Fennel seeds, coriander, seeds in general. These sort of seeds are actually really good sources of polyphenols. The spices are great sources for bacteria that you actually might want to eat to improve your overall immune system health and your gut health. And that may be the secret reason why most spices are so good for us. So these guys, we're going to put those up in the A list. Konjac flour. And the cool thing about konjac flour is it's all soluble fiber. It virtually has no calories. It essentially has no flavor and will take on the characteristics of whatever you cook it in. So konjac flour is really good for making things out of, but particularly there are a number of konjac-based spaghetti products, pasta products that are well worth looking for. Most people are put off by the sliminess of these products, but I have YouTube videos on how to take the sliminess out of these products. So konjac root is actually a superfood. How about Nopales Cactus? I think it's time for a quick quiz. Here are 2 facts and 1 lie about Nopales Cactus. Can you guess which one is the lie? Number 1, in Mexico, you can find around 114 known species. Number 2, you can only eat them cooked. Number 3, nopales are a great source of vitamin C. Are you ready? The answer is 2. You can actually eat them cooked or raw. It's not uncommon to find Nopales cactus in salads and marinades, but just watch out for the prickly needles. All right, let's get back to your questions. So Nopales cactus are loaded with soluble fiber, and they're really good for your gut buddies. A lot of my Hispanic patients, I can get them eating these, and I can actually see it on their blood work that they're using them. So it's actually right up there when used appropriately as a superfood. Finally, Teff flour. So teff is one of these interesting grains that grows in incredibly dry, arid climates, and it does not require a lot of water. I've done mission work for Charity Water in Ethiopia, and teff is one of the great grains that they can actually grow with minimal amounts of water, along with sorghum and millet. And it appears that teff does not have a lectin, just like sorghum and millet. Those are the only other 2 grains that don't have lectins. So we're beginning to see teff more. It's a really good grain, and if you actually see teff, it's actually very, very dark color, and that dark is actually got a really cool polyphenol. So you should consider teff, and it's really good for the environment. So a lot of good reasons to support teff flour. Okay, now for a quick recap, let's see what we got. Raw milk, number 1 with bird flu, please, 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 don't even come near it. Number 2, you're not a baby cow, don't even come near it if it's pasteurized. Liver has the highest new 5GC of any food. Don't trust me, check with Google, you will be shocked how mischievous new 5GC is to us. Camel milk, you're not a baby camel, enough said. These oils, they're harmless, is my nice way of saying. They're expensive, you're better off investing your money in high quality Perilla oil or olive oil. The nut milks like pistachio milk and hazelnut milk, if you're looking for a milk-like substance, those are really good. Dates in moderation. Bamboo flour, coriander, fennel seeds, great for you. Teff flour, look for it. Nopales cactus, great. The turnips, the root vegetables, the rutabagas, great for you. Please have more anchovies and sardines. Huge fan of Perilla oil. And no, I don't sell Perilla oil. I'm a huge fan of it. And cloves, the highest level of polyphenols and antioxidants And konjac root. Konjac root fiber is really good for you. If you enjoyed this episode of Gut Instincts, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments if there's anything we missed. I enjoy hearing and answering your questions. Remember, eat smart, feel great. I'm Dr. Gundry, and I'll see you in the next video. And that is my gut instinct.